Well, good morning, everybody. This is meteorologist Taylor Stephenson with 13 News Now. We are doing a weather live stream this morning because we are calling a weather impact alert day for tomorrow. Now, what is a weather impact alert? Well, that is just a new branding that we're going with for the foreseeable future. It's the same thing as a weather alert day, where we are going to be telling you what is going to be the most impactful weather for the upcoming week. Now, we switched to weather impact because we want to make sure that not only are we telling you the weather, but how it's going to impact your daily life. So let's get a little bit into what is going to be happening across our area for tomorrow, for the reason why we've called a weather impact alert day for tomorrow. So for Sunday, this is going to run from 9 to 7 p.m. for the fact that we do have a wind advisory in place for tomorrow during that same time frame. We're talking strong winds, but also during that same time frame, we're talking thunderstorms along a cold front. The cold front's the reason why we're going to see all of this impactful weather for tomorrow. So what you need to do is try to stay indoors if you can during these times, because the National Weather Service has also said that with the high winds around southeastern Virginia and northeastern North Carolina, we could see the fact of some downed trees with some really soggy soil, since we've seen so much rain over the past few days, but also the fact that we could also see some of those downed trees as well. So with this system, we are talking some strong winds and some thunderstorms in the area. Now, this is, again, it runs from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. tomorrow for the fact that we are underneath this wind advisory. Again, my name is Taylor. I'm meteorologist Taylor Stephenson with 13 News Now, and we are streaming this to give you the latest updates on what to expect for your Sunday, as we have sent out a weather impact alert across the area. Now, again, this is mainly for the impactful weather we are going to see along a cold front, because this front will not only give us really warm temperatures near 70 degrees, but also we're going to see some of those stronger wind gusts anywhere from 40 to 55 miles per hour, and that's not including the thunderstorm wind gusts. These are non-thunderstorm wind gusts across the area. And then the fact that we do have a thunderstorm risk that also has placed us in a low-end severe weather risk. So thank you so much for joining me today, and we're going to go through step by step, hour by hour, what you need to know for your weekend, especially for tomorrow. So again, for those who are just now joining me, we are underneath this weather impact alert day for tomorrow between 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. for strong winds and thunderstorms during that same time frame for your Sunday. Now, try to stay indoors if you can during this point in time, because with this system, we are talking some really nasty conditions. Thankfully, the low end risk for thunderstorms, for that severe weather risk, is on the lowest tier you can have for any type of severe weather day, but it still is there. So we are talking severe thunderstorms, not only here in the mid-Atlantic, but all throughout the southern half of the East Coast. Now, with this system, we are talking everybody anywhere from the peninsulas all the way through northeastern North Carolina underneath this isolated risk for severe thunderstorms. Wind gusts from thunderstorms could be as high as 60 miles per hour. But again, non-thunderstorm wind gusts are also going to be a risk for us tomorrow, and that's why we have that wind advisory running. But the other thing with this severe thunderstorm risk is that while the tornado risk is low for tomorrow, it's not zero. We're in one of two pockets where we could see a little bit of rotation with any thunderstorms. Now, with the most recent updates, and we'll go through the models to show you what they're talking about for tomorrow, but with the updates, from my perspective as a trained meteorologist, I'm not really seeing anything that really sparks my eye when it comes to that tornado risk. But again, not zero, but very, very low. Now, tomorrow we also have those wind alerts. High wind watches are just to our north and just to our west with this system. But in that tan color, that is a wind advisory. This runs for everybody from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And that is pretty much the exact timing of this system as it moves through our area, we are going to be talking the possibility for some of those stronger winds, especially during the afternoon. Now, this is just going to be a messy weekend in general. We today have temperatures in the upper 50s, but rain is on the way for us as we get into really the next hour or two for some widespread rain across parts of Hampton Roads mainly. Now, northeastern North Carolina today, you may see some scattered showers off and on throughout the day, but the bulk of the rain will be mainly concentrated for the peninsulas and some parts of the south side. But today we're not talking the risk for any severe thunderstorms, mainly just those heavier downpours possible for the peninsulas and then widespread rain everywhere else. But today is going to be a pretty normal day. Temperatures this morning were cold, starting off near freezing, but this afternoon we'll make it up into the upper 50s. It's tomorrow where we have very windy conditions, also very warm temperatures near 70 degrees tomorrow. So it's going to feel more like spring for us as we transition into a place of getting out of that winter and into spring. Remember that meteorological spring starts on March the 1st. So this is where we usually see temperatures starting to rise, cold fronts becoming more frequent, and that's the reason why we'll have thunderstorms tomorrow. It's along a cold front that is going to be coming through the area. Now, storms and rain very likely, almost everyone will see at least some type of rain, and the rain we will see will be fairly impactful for us. Now, for the next couple of days, let's roll through our Futurecast graph. This is our in-house model, and it already shows that we could see some rain on our doorsteps right now. But what I like to do with this type of deal is to actually cross compare with what's going on radar. So I'm going to pull up the radar so you can see what's going on currently as it compares to what our models say. And a lot of times when we do this, it actually helps to initialize, a big word for just compare whether our models are doing well or not doing well. So again, that model said, hey, we could have some rain right on our I-95 doorstep. And right now, over the past 3 hours, it's fairly close. I will say it's a little bit ahead of its time at the moment. But we are looking for the potential of that rain coming through, but it is showing that mix between a little bit of sleet and some winter weather to our north and west near Lynchburg, Farmville, getting closer to the Appalachian Mountains. But then in Farmville, South Boston, down the 85 corridor, we're seeing some heavier downpours mixed in with those widespread showers. So for us, we are talking that potential of those widespread showers that are near this area right here, anywhere between Farmville, Lynchville, South Boston, moving towards the peninsulas. So in this corridor of the eastern shore, northern neck, middle peninsula, and peninsula, that's where that rain will start to come through, the heaviest rainfall. Now, south side, parts of northeastern North Carolina, you will see some of that rain. It just won't be as heavy as it is around the peninsulas. So let's walk you through the next couple days as this cold front starts to roll through. Now, we will start to see winds really picking up tonight. So Futurecast shows that by 2 p.m., most of the peninsulas and parts of the western south side, you will start to get rain. Now, this is not a part of our weather impact alert. This is just going to be a part of everyday, regular, degular rain. Tomorrow is where that impact alert comes in with those stronger wind gusts and the chance for those thunderstorms. But today we are talking rain. We desperately need the rain though, because we are still underneath a severe drought in the peninsulas, moderate drought south side and south. Rain continues through the afternoon. So I would say if you are watching this stream now that you will probably need to get everything you need to get done before about 2 p.m., 2:30. Otherwise, you're going to be out and about in some pretty rainy conditions anywhere from the Virginia, North Carolina border and north. We're going to continue with that rain coming through about 8 p.m. as well. So even our nighttime plans are going to continue to be pretty rainy for us across Hampton Roads in northeastern North Carolina. And we'll continue with the rain through about 10 to 11 p.m. But notice how the heaviest rainfall moved through the northern neck eastern shore. Also want you to notice how winds are going to change direction from southeast to due south. That really strong south wind, that's actually going to help to pull in some warmer air. So you may notice if you're heading out later tonight that it's not as cold as you would expect it to be for a typical nighttime feel, because one, we have cloud cover, and that cloud cover pretty much acts like a blanket across the area. And what it will do is help to insulate us so that we can keep some of that heat in. But two, with the south winds, that pulls in that warmer air, and when you have south winds overnight, that keeps you on the warmer side of things. So temperatures tonight will be pretty similar to what we'll see this afternoon, in the middle to upper 50s. But even tomorrow morning, we're going to wake up a bit warmer. Overnight tonight, we will have some scattered showers that could produce some heavier rainfall at times as well. So if you work the third shift, if you plan on staying out very late, I mean talking 3, 4 a.m. tomorrow morning, then you will be dealing with some off and on moderate showers rolling through the area. But also notice in that left side of your screen, you see that compass with the number in the middle that shows where the winds are coming from, but it also shows the wind speeds and gusts. So right now, as you see, south-southwest winds gusting up to 25 to 30 miles per hour in this instance as that cold front continues to approach the area. So by the time you're waking up on the Sunday morning, when most of us are maybe heading to church, getting out for brunch, exploring, enjoying the rest of your weekend, it's going to be windy, it's going to be cloudy, but it also will be warm. Temperatures starting off at 8 a.m., 60s, and upper 50s. Our normal high for this time of year is in the middle 50s. So we're already starting off the morning 5 degrees warmer than where we should be on a typical middle February day at the bare minimum. So a very warm day, but also breezy. By that time, wind gusts could be as high as 35 to 40 miles per hour. So if you were thinking, hey, maybe tomorrow because it's so warm, I'm going to head out to the beach, be on the water, I think that for most of us, you should stay away from being on that water. We do have gale warnings in effect for both the Bay and the Atlantic as we get into your Sunday. We continue with maybe a few isolated showers in the morning, but the bulk of the rain approaches during the mid to late morning into the early afternoon. That's going to be along a cold front. This cold front will be very strong. That's why we're going to see wind gusts picking up. Now, wind gusts throughout the day could be as high as 50 to 55 miles per hour. That will continue as we get into your Sunday afternoon. Heavy downpours possible. Again, thunderstorm wind gusts up to 60 to 65 miles per hour also possible. And because, again, our ground is so saturated from the fact that we had multiple days of rain during this past work week, we could have the potential to see some down trees, also with the higher winds, down power lines. Now, if you have to head out, please wear closed-toed shoes just in case of any down power lines or any down trees. But again, we are still watching for that potential of maybe some of those impacts. But regardless, if we see power outages or down trees, it will be a very windy and very rainy day. Rain continues through the early afternoon, but once that cold front starts to move out to sea, most of that rain will be pushing along with it. So the last places that we'll see some of that rain will be the Eastern Shore, Outer Banks, Virginia Beach, but that's even by 3 p.m. So we may be able to salvage a little bit of your Sunday as that cold front clears, and so do those clouds. We still will stay fairly warm before we say goodbye to that sun for the day. Temperatures on Sunday evening in those lower to middle 60s. That's still about 10 degrees above normal for this time of year. We continue to push those winds to the west. And what a west wind does compared to a south wind is that it pulls in very dry air because it's wind that's coming over land, very, very dry. So we're going to significantly dry out and we'll clear out. Temperatures by 7 p.m. in the lower 50s to upper 50s. We'll have even some lower 60s still possible in northeastern North Carolina. Clear skies continue for your Sunday, and we'll have a lot of sunshine on your Monday. But even overnight Sunday into the day on Monday will still be very breezy. Wind gusts overnight Sunday will be anywhere from 25 to 35 miles per hour. On Monday, it will be anywhere from about 20 to 30 miles per hour. So each and every day part, we start to bring those winds down from tomorrow morning through the day on Monday. But either way, the next about 72 hours will be very breezy once we get through your Saturday night. Now again, for those who are just joining us, we are underneath a weather impact alert, and a lot of people may be wondering, what is a weather impact alert? Well, it's just the same thing as a weather alert day that we used to issue out during this time, where we would see the potential for some disruptive weather. But we've changed the branding. The concept stays the same. But what we wanted to highlight is how these systems or these weather disturbances will impact your day. So the weather impact alert is in place for Sunday, which is tomorrow, from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. That runs in alignment with the wind advisory that we have in place. Now, impactful weather continues because we have those strong winds. We could see wind gusts from non-thunderstorms up to 55 miles per hour. Thunderstorms throughout the day along that cold front, and we'll continue to see some of that heavy rainfall as well, and some of those thunderstorms could become isolated severe with some wind gusts up to about 60 to 65 miles per hour with any thunderstorms. And then we can't rule out a chance for an isolated tornado, but that chance for a tornado remains low. Now, what you need to do is try to stay indoors during this time if you can. With any thunderstorm, my favorite phrase to say, when thunder roars, head indoors. There's no place to be outside, especially when you start to hear that thunder, because you can usually start to get the feel that the atmosphere is becoming a little bit more unstable. It's not best to be outside during that time. Now, I did want to give you a little bit of a look of the comparisons between models, because that's super important. So during this time, we can go to our short range models, and our shorter range models usually give us a clearer outlook on what the day will hold, because the closer you are to the forecast in terms of time frame, the more accurate it is. So we love to use the GFS model, which is our American model. We love to use the European model, but those are long-range models, and they come with a lot of variability and a lot of inconsistency when you're talking anywhere from 5 to 7 days plus out from a forecast. And that's why anytime we talk about winter weather here across Hampton Roads, we talk about it day by day, because things can change in a matter of hours as new model runs update and give us new insights of what is to come. With this Futurecast, this is going to be our high resolution rapid refresh, or we just call it the HERF for short, and it's one of the short range models that only goes a couple of days out, and this is usually a fairly accurate model because, again, the time range is so much shorter. So Futurecast HERF shows rain coming through the peninsulas first today through about 2 p.m. Heavy rainfall for parts of the peninsulas as well, as you see anywhere from Williamsburg all the way up through Matthews and passing just to the east of Tappahannock. Chincoteague and Melfa, you'll be on that line to see that heavier rainfall moving through by about 3 to 5 p.m. Rainfall continues for the south side, but again, notice how spotty it could be in northeastern North Carolina. We'll still have overcast skies regardless if you see rain today, but most of the rain will be concentrated to the Virginia side of things. Heavy rainfall continues out to our west, and that will move through our area through the evening time again. So we'll have these bursts of heavier rainfall mixed in with the ongoing light to somewhat moderate rainfall coming through the afternoon and evening. Heavy rainfall, continues through the night through about 9 to 10 p.m. And then we continue with the opportunity to see some rain overnight as well. Now, as we get into tomorrow, that is when we could see some of that rain coming through along the cold front. Look at this heavy rain coming through between about midnight and 4 a.m. And the pockets of heavy rainfall are just very intense overnight with this high resolution rapid refresh model. So if you're heading out late tonight, if you're staying out late tonight, if you have to work the third shift, definitely have the umbrella, because even if you did not see any rain in northeastern North Carolina throughout the day on your Saturday, Sunday morning, very early, right around 2 to 3 a.m., you'll start to see some of that heavy rainfall moving from southwest to northeast. So we'll see that, but again, we'll continue to have the opportunity for that heavier rainfall and those thunderstorms coming through tomorrow. Now, again, the reason why we're issuing this weather alert day is because of these higher winds. Now, we are not underneath any of those high wind watches or warnings. This is a wind advisory at the moment. This runs from 9 a.m. tomorrow to 7 p.m. tomorrow. This is for every single person in Hampton Roads in northeastern North Carolina. Even if you have friends who or family who live out in Richmond or down the I-95 corridor to the Virginia-North Carolina border, they're also underneath the wind advisory. And in this tan color, we could see wind gusts as strong as 55 miles per hour. We'll continue with some elevated winds through the evening time on Sunday into the day on Monday, but they won't nearly be as intense. So I want to give you a look at the Futurecast winds over the next few days, really anywhere from today through Sunday. Now, again, seeing right now, Futurecast wind gusts could be as high anywhere from 15 to 20 miles per hour throughout your Saturday, but with this system, we'll start to see those wind gusts really picking up for us on Sunday. So today, wind gusts could be as strong as anywhere from 20 to maybe 30 miles per hour, especially in northeastern North Carolina and around parts of the eastern shore. This is tonight around 8:30. Getting into tomorrow morning, wind gusts really pick up. Again, I told you earlier, the wind direction is super important. Those south-southwest winds are going to be kicking, and what they'll do is bring in that really warm air. So we'll see wind gusts as high as 40 miles per hour on your Sunday morning. And again, mixed in there will be some of those heavy downpours too. So if you have to head out early, make sure to take your time on the roads. But this is the problem. This is going to be anywhere from 12 to about 3 p.m. Wind gusts area-wide, anywhere from 40 to 55 miles per hour. Even this Futurecast wind graphic shows wind gusts above 55, near 56, possibly 57 miles per hour. This is strong enough to take down some weak trees, especially because we had all that rain over the past few days in this last work week with that really saturated ground. But it also could take down some power lines, especially if those trees take down those power lines. It can cause some power outages. So just be aware of that. But during this time, again, we encourage you to try to stay at home if you possibly can. Wind gusts will start to taper off slightly. Now, this is very relative, right? Still wind gusts of 35 to 45 miles per hour, even near 50 in places like Chincoteague, are still very strong wind gusts. So that will continue through your Sunday evening and overnight into Sunday night and the early Monday morning. Now, during this time frame, wind gusts will start to taper off to the 30 to 35 mile per hour range. Getting into Monday during the day, we're back in the 25 to 30 mile per hour range. And then by Tuesday morning, that's when we're really going to start to see some of those really strong winds tapering off for us. But that wind advisory, again, still in place until we get to 7 p.m. tomorrow, after it goes into effect at 9 a.m. But today we are talking a marine forecast. It's very calm. Tomorrow is going to be a different story. So for today, very calm. Southeast winds 10 to 15 knots, waves and seas both at 2 to 3 feet. High tide days around 10:49, low tide around 5:01. Tomorrow, though, a whole different story, as we do have those wind speeds starting to really pick up for us across the area for both of our waters for the bay and for the Atlantic. So for tomorrow, what we're talking about for the Bay are south winds 20 to 25 knots, becoming southwest up to 30 knots, and gusts up to 40 knots. Waves could be anywhere from 3 to 4 feet, but occasionally the 5-foot wave will be in place until a gale warning is in effect from Sunday morning through Monday morning. For the Atlantic Ocean, we're talking tomorrow, south winds 20 to 25 knots, becoming southwest 20 to 30 knots, and then gusts as high as 40 knots. Now, the seas will be very choppy, 6 to 7 feet, but occasionally we could see a 9-foot sea. So very high, not great boating conditions, so I would recommend not going out on the water tomorrow. A gale warning is also in effect for the Atlantic from Sunday morning through Monday morning. And I want to give you one last look at what we're expecting for the next day, as we have issued a weather impact alert day for tomorrow. That is Sunday, February 16th. It runs from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. That goes into alignment with our wind advisory in place for wind gusts up to 40 to 55 miles per hour. And again, gale warnings in effect tomorrow from Sunday morning through Monday morning for both the Bay and the Atlantic. But the impact are those strong winds and also those thunderstorms. Thunderstorms will come along a cold front on your Sunday mid-morning into the afternoon. That could also bring some thunderstorm wind gusts anywhere from 60 to 65 miles per hour. But we also cannot rule out a chance for maybe an isolated tornado. But again, I say that to say that that is in the forecast, but that chance is super low. So just be weather aware. It's not zero, but it's very, very low. So what you need to do is whenever thunder roars, you head indoors. Try to stay indoors during this time, especially as those winds really pick up throughout the morning. It will be your best bet for staying safe from this weather because, again, the Weather Service has said because of the saturated ground that we do have in place, we could see the possibility of seeing those thunderstorm wind gusts up to 65 miles per hour, non-thunderstorm wind gusts up to 55, and that could cause some downed trees and maybe some power outages. Now again, one more time on the timing so you know exactly how to prepare for the rest of your weekend with this weather impact alert in place for tomorrow. Today will just be your run-of-the-mill rain. It starts in the next hour and will continue all day long. The heaviest rainfall rolls through parts of the peninsulas. We'll see temperatures today in the middle 50s, but peninsulas, you'll be much cooler as that rain continues over and over. And rain causes very cooling of the air as that rain evaporates. So you'll see temperatures at best in the lower to upper 40s. Northeastern North Carolina, some of you may remain untouched from the rain today. So highs will be nearing 60 degrees in some places. But heaviest rainfall will come through the peninsulas, and then we'll see some overnight showers coming through mainly between 2 and 6 a.m. on Sunday, clearing out before our main line of storms rolls through during the middle to late morning into the middle of the afternoon. Highs in the upper 60s, nearing 70 degrees. Wind gusts as high as 55 miles per hour during this time, especially around 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. We'll clear out by 4 to 5 p.m. with maybe an isolated shower lingering right along that front. Winds will change direction from south to west. That west wind pulls in a very dry air. So we'll still see some sunshine before we really close out the day. So it should be a beautiful sunset for tomorrow after a windy and stormy and warm day. Temperatures, though, right around sunset will still be in those lower to middle 60s. And then we'll have much clearer conditions Sunday night and into the day on Monday. Monday will still be breezy. It just won't be as breezy. Again, a wind advisory is in place tomorrow from 9 a.m. until 7 p.m. So that is, again, why we have issued this weather impact alert day for the fact that we have this impactful weather coming through tomorrow, mainly in the heart of the day between 9 and 7 p.m. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today on this weather live stream as we talk about the weather impact alert for your Sunday. For more information on what to expect, not only for today and tomorrow, but also for the upcoming week where we may have the potential for some winter weather, head to 13newsnow.com. You can check out our forecast story that goes through the next 7 days. But we also have a weather impact alert story now live that you can check out specifically for Sunday. And we also have a winter weather story live that talks about the details of what we may see on Wednesday and Thursday. Again, I'm meteorologist Taylor Stephenson at 13 News Now, and thank you so much for joining me today.